Come on, son. It is 2:26. We've been up since 7:30 in the morning. Well, I've been up since 7:20 in the morning. You hear that? I don't know if you could hear that, but it's the AC guys. They've been working on their stuff since 8. He's so tempted to bark at them. He's like, who's upstairs? Who's making noise? Come here, boy. Come here. Come back over here. What are you doing? Come here. Up. I know. But they gotta do their job because it's gonna get hot soon. He was barking earlier, and then he stopped because his mom was sleeping right here, and I told her to go sleep in Mama Dola's room, who my mother-in-law should be back at the end of this month. So I'm pretty sure Carla is excited. I'm gonna miss my peace and quiet. For a little lady, she'd make a lot of ruckus. Already 2:36. Carla woke up. I'm gonna go drop off this package. Be right back. She's gonna be cooking up some steaks. That easy. Oh, look at that. Gonna make some corn. Got that ribeye from yesterday. This guy's covered up everything so they don't make a mess, which is awesome. I will tell you, this was pretty easy. Well, I didn't do the work, but 303. It's a good number, 3. Oh, yeah. That's where the real mess happens. And she disappears. You wouldn't go with your mom then. Yes. You haven't ate your food yet, dude. You go eat your food. All right. This is our old little display here. Yeah, you guys like because I ordered trim. It's 4:11 and everything is done. Ladies and gents, new ACs are installed, and here's the new one. Pretty cool, touchscreen. I could tell the difference. For the longest time, our upper AC, the upstairs unit, yeah, that thing. The upstairs unit was always like, you could tell as soon as we got a certain, Oh, Carla's seen if she got to go to work. Stand by.
I gotta call and ask.
Oh, so she got pushed back. But ladies and gents, wow. So the AC unit, I could tell a big difference. Even when they were starting it, testing it, downstairs, I could feel like a nice, subtle push of cold air. And it wasn't like before. The AC unit was like 100% just, you could feel it, but it wasn't cold like it felt this way. Like it was gentler, but more quality, I guess. And then upstairs, because our upstairs unit, that one was always giving us problems ever since we moved in here. And you could tell right when you got to about right there on the stairs, before you even got all the way up, you could feel like that heat. And that's physics, heat rising. And it makes a big difference to where we at times would be like, let's go downstairs and sleep down here because it was nice, cool, and cold. Unlike going upstairs, imagine in the summer, like it didn't matter. It was still hot and it felt really good walking up there. I was in the garage for a moment. I'm getting hats ready to get listed that I'm going to show you. And I had a little sweat under my moobs, right? And as I was walking upstairs, I was like, ooh, that's cold. Ooh, that feels good. Big difference. It's worth it. It was worth it. How much worth it? Let me tell you in a second. All right, so it's going to cost us quite a bit, or it did cost us quite a bit. The total cost is going to be the two AC units. Total cost was just a little over $26,000. That chokes me up every time because that's a lot of money, especially for me and Carla, and for anybody. It doesn't even matter. That's a lot of money. And we're like, man, we got to really start pinching pennies over here and making dollars at the same time. So I am going to be working on listing every day, just like before. And I wanted to share with you my goals before I show you what I'm going to list today. And my daily goal to list items has to be anywhere from 300 or more a day. And that is not always going to be something that takes like a dozen items or 2 dozen items. Sometimes it might end up being more than 2 dozen items. But for the most part, when I have an item that's worth like $200, which I have quite a bit of that stuff, to be honest, not a lot, but I have a handful of things where like, okay, I could list that. I could start listing my lamps more because one already sold, like I shared with you yesterday, and that would easily give me 100, but that's just one item. So if it's that easy, I want to have it, you know, as much as possible to have some good work in, relax, and also focus on my health. I want to get in shape. I need to look at how much I really want to make in a month, but I like things to be simple and not feel like, oh, if I say I'm going to make $10,000 in sales a month, I feel like that's a lot of pressure rather than let me do or focus on 300 or more dollars worth of items listed a day. But that could end up being where you have items that aren't even worth $300 to some people, because it might end up being where the items that I list that day, right, are people are going to find these items and they want it, but they want to send in the price that's less than what I'm asking for. And as long as I make some decent profits and it's a fair price, I'm willing to accept a decent offer. There are certain things I'm also working on with myself that I don't want to be saying things like, oh, I get this item because it sells for me. I want to get out of habits like that, because if I'm sharing something with you of what sells, it shouldn't include me saying it sells for me. That's almost like saying, well, it sells for me, it won't for you. And sucks if it doesn't sell for you. I feel like for me personally, like I want to get out of saying certain things like that. And that's just me just sometimes in my head and overthinking things, which I am big on. I overthink stuff, but it's also with the intentions of bettering myself for something good and not something bad, especially with content that I put out, because I live by the words that I stand by. And I just want to have a good time and enjoy the life that I've given myself and built upon with my amazing wife, Carla. She will not be going into work later. So until then, I am going to be working on listing items. And this happens to be one of them that my wife, speaking of her, taught me about. So if you know this brand right here, Tiger, you might not be familiar with it. And you might be thinking, that sounds familiar, but I don't know it as a water bottle. These Tiger water bottles retail anywhere from like 60, 80 to 100 plus, which is pretty astonishing. That makes me feel like many of us are in the wrong business and we should start working on water bottles. But nothing's ever that simple, right? Ideas are great, but unless you follow through them, it's not going to happen. But I would love to make something in the future where it's something like an actual product, a plush, other than stickers and hats and t-shirts. But I will be working on that coming up. I don't want to give a time frame because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, because I have a lot of fun stuff coming your way that I'm looking forward on doing and taking from my imagination and bringing it into life to share with you all. So stay tuned and follow me every day as much as possible. This right here is from a rice cooking product, a rice cooking brand. And those rice cookers of the Tiger are not cheap at all. And I am going to be looking at more electronics like that. and just trying to grow better as a reseller. But this one right here, she found at the Goodwill bins out in Hawaii, and that was one of the first items we grabbed, and Carla found it. She's really smart. And things that people say in my comments, especially my thrifting channel, is that, oh, I want to learn how to thrift, but I don't know where to get started. And I tied this in, this in with what my wife ended up finding, right? She does not like reselling. She doesn't care for it, but she doesn't hate on it either. She knows I'm happy doing this and supports it. But there's a lot of things like this that you'd be amazed of where do you start? Start with what you know. Get better at it, master it, and then you start adding other things like I have in the past, from where all I did was apparel for the longest time, and then I got into like sporting goods, and then I started getting into a little bit of women's brands and started learning about things, and then I started getting into glass. Vintage glass more than anything. I love vintage glass, small paperweights, vases, doesn't matter, lamps. Like, I started honing in on one thing at a time. I love apparel. I love hats. I love sporting goods. I love anything that I can make a profit on. But most importantly, I love finding ways to minimize hard work and to easier work, to have time to be at home and relax and go out and travel like we did in Hawaii, and put every effort of me into what I love about what I have and share with you all. So stay tuned for a lot of that. But going off topic, folks, I love to talk about what I enjoy doing. And I think you could feel it in the videos when I talk about stuff. Like, it is really what I love. And there's a lot of what I love that you still haven't even found out yet. But here's some hats that are all going to sell for around $15 to $20. And they are all trucker hats. I ended up getting these with like maybe, oh man, I got maybe like 40 hats for $40. Very good condition. Some of the hats that I've sold, like around 6 of them, has already made me around $150. So all profits. So very easy hats to list. They are more than likely going to be long sellers, but it's all about quality photos, good titles, descriptions, item specifics. And with Poshmark, I may end up jumping on Poshmark specifically today, because I got an alert about listing 5 items today on Poshmark for a chance to win $5,000 and a trip. I don't remember where the trip is from, but I think listing these simple items are going to help me, especially me having them sit around. So that might interest you too. When it comes to listing stuff, see on Poshmark or all these other places of what deals they got going on for their sellers that you could jump in, that you need to be doing anyways, like listing items like me. And one of my biggest goals that I've been working on is getting organized. I have been so unorganized for the longest time, but since I've started this channel, I've been getting a good hold on what it is that I need to do, to where I've already kicked my bad habits off in a way. Like, I don't even think about them. When I wake up, I'm ready to list. I'm ready to make money. I'm ready to work, and I'm excited about it. Unlike before, when I was already doing that, I ended up somehow losing my way and just having too much stuff sit around, and I was thrifting and finding good items. But what good are good items, quality items that are worth money, if they're not being listed? So focus on the go, which is what I'm doing. And there's several of them. I want to have $300 worth of items listed every day. And these are simple items, just like hats, just like jewelry. And you got to find what works for you and what doesn't, especially if you could run garage sales. If I was able to run garage sales without HOA, I would probably be doing that a lot more of. But there's also the flea market for me as well. So these hats right here, just these hats alone, 15, 30, 90, was that 120, 20, 25, 30, 135, $135 worth of items that I still need some more items to dig through and list. And this bottle right here is going to help me out a lot. That's like another like $40 to $50. Although they retail for much more, I think that's a pretty good price to be listing something like this on. So there's almost like 150 there, just a little over 150. And I got plenty of items here that I'm going to get listed today, and I'll be sharing with you on my in the description. I noticed my eBay link, I didn't copy and paste it, but I will now. I have 2 eBay accounts, but I'm only going to be sharing one. And this one, I only have, as of today, 122 items, I believe. And items are already selling since I got back. I had my eBay store on vacation. And like I mentioned earlier, those numbers on eBay are gonna start going up on listings. But my job or my focus isn't to have a high amount of items listed. I am working on better quality, faster seller items. But when I buy items like this, of hats that I bought for $40 for a big bundle, and I've already made over $100 of profits just off of a few of them. For me, this works, and it works with the concept of what I enjoy. So I want to pay off my truck, which that's going to be like, I think just a little over $5,000. Not only that, my art side of me, I want to share more of photography, graphic designs of stickers, hats, apparel, and people have been asking for them. Not a lot, but enough for me to be like, I really need to work on this because I want to. I don't want to do something because somebody asked for it. I need to feel it within my soul, because if I'm not all in it, I feel like that really shows through how you loved it or not. And if you're passive towards it, then people are going to be like, meh. But if you love something, you could live with that rather than, I shouldn't have done that. I wasted my time. I feel like I just am burdened by something I was working on and not interested in. And I want to bring out all of my good vibes like I do all the time, as much as possible with you all. And if you appreciate that, make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned, because this video is over, but not me, not my work. I'm going to get this stuff listed today on top of other things. So you can check out my eBay store and see what else I got there available if you're interested, or as a gift for somebody that may be interested. So thanks for watching, folks. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. I'm going to go inside and enjoy this nice, sweet air condition, and also get this stuff listed at the same time.